Good morning, or good evening, or good afternoon, wherever and whenever you are watching this video. My name is Shari, and this is another live YouTube video of my channel, Just My Opinion. It's titled A Personal Update. Today, the 4th of August, 2021, I only have 12 followers, subscribers, whatevers. No big loss to them. No money lost, no hair off their chest is ruffled. But for those who have followed me on the podcast, you notice that I have not been recording or posting anything in quite some time. In fact, not since April. And that's because I've been in the process of a relocation, escaping the mental farm, as it were. And yeah, it's been trial and error by fire for sure. And I have moved away from the crumbling coast, crumbling literally and figuratively because of bad policies, because of mentalities that are just awful. Actually been trying to do this for the past 40 years. Finally has come back my way to where it can happen. So to sum it all up, yes, I am finally free, or at least it seems that way. Who knows? I may be mistaken. I may be just fooling. My for me is I have relocated that I wrote to a gal back there. I don't even want to admit where I'm moving from because people around here don't take too kindly to, I guess, that kind. Well, let's just say the color palette has gone from the softer hues to the warmer hues of where I'm living. Hopefully that's a hint. So anyway, last year when my former place of residence was locked down and scared and being constantly bombarded with fear, from the vomitorium to the news, to the newspapers, to people spying on their neighbors and reporting them. No, it's not East Germany, but pretty damn close. So while we were all confined to our cages, I was lucky enough to get appointments with a counselor on Zoom. So she and I talked about, okay, follow the guidelines, follow this, follow that, keep yourself safe. And it kind of helps keep in perspective what's going on. It's like it's not a dinosaur. It might be a lap lizard, whatever. So it just puts into perspective having a person to talk with every week, even if you can't be in the same room with them, just kind of like taking a mental dump. And then when you log off, it's like flushing everything down the drain. It's like you don't, having someone to talk to is the equivalent of taking a mental dump. And if you really, really want to make yourself better, when you hit that handle, you don't quickly reach in the bowl and try to grab the turd. You just let it go with the flow and go away. So this is the update. This is the letter I wrote her to let her know, and I can read this to you to let you know what's been going on. I start out by saying, I want to let you know I am safe, I am well, and I am happier being out of my, happier being out of Crappyfornia. I am working again, a bit of a stressful job as a pharmacy tech, and I am looking for alternatives so I can keep paying my mortgage. Yes, I bought a house, and it feels liberating. My anxiety ebbs and flows, but it is not from the bombardment of negative press regarding the you-know-what. You will be surprised to hear I eat out as often as I can, and I can afford. And except for work, I pretty much live my life maskless. Now, as a side note to this letter, I'm not stupid, just living free. I'm looking for counseling where I am, but the schedule I have is as needed and not 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. So it just kind of makes it hard finding somebody else to talk to. I mean, personally, ever since doing as another side note, personally, ever since doing these YouTube videos and the podcast, I have a way to take a mental dump. I'm dumping on you and you are coming to my bathroom and looking in the bowl. Grabbing a stick, swirling around, see what's floating. So that actually helps. Having an outlet to feel like you can talk with people. Locked cage I was crammed into long ago, but made to believe was my only safety. So, yeah, that's an update for you guys too, that long, stressful year last year, managed to uproot myself, and as I left, salted the earth in the hopes that nothing else can grow that can mentally choke another living human, thriving, living, human being. I was talking to a gal last night on text messages of how I've learned to deal with things. And I told her I learned to deal with things by being like a dog. It's basically, I don't even know if I can say this on YouTube. I'll find a way to edit myself because I haven't a clue. Okay, let's see. What did I tell her? Because I want to get the exact wording right because it's important to say it just right. Thank you for sticking with me. I see one person is watching currently. Okay. Oh. You got to be like a dog. Be like a dog because a dog knows that stuff. I'm editing. A dog will smell that stuff. A dog will step ahead of that stuff, cover that stuff, then walk away from that stuff. And that's what you got to do. I mean, it's kind of sort of what I've known all along in life, but have found a place to practice it. And this huge, thank goodness for technology. I mean, despite the fact that we're all being censored out and put into, it's like if we try to escape that unlocked cage, which is very unhealthy for us because there's no one to clean out the litter. It just builds and builds and builds and builds and builds and builds until we're just swallowed by that stuff. We have no way to step ahead of that stuff and put it behind us. But no, it's been great. I'm actually in the process of figuring out which room to create my soundproofing so I can go back to recording audio episodes and going from there. This is actually, this has been good. It's been hard. It's been good. But nothing in life comes easy. Nothing in life is free. Nothing in life that is worthwhile is free. It's along the lines of buying something for $1 that you need, and you're like, well, I'll just toss it out because I'll just spend another $1. That's basically what free stuff amounts to people. It's like, well, it's just free. I'll use it up and crumple it up and then just toss what I don't use in the garbage. It's like eating a burrito, but not all the way to the end and just chucking it. It's complete waste. When you have, like, what was that one mean? When you have to carry the water yourself, you know the value of every drop. When you have to carve out your own history, you don't waste the ink from the well. And when you, it made very little sense, that last one. When you have to write your own history and responsible for creating your own story, you don't waste the ink from the well. I wish everybody could do the same. But as I've often told others, strangers, and people that I know, the only equity in life, because when we're talking about, well, we all have the opportunity, but what we want is for everyone to have the same thing. No, I'm not eating sherbet if I'm not allergic to ice cream. And the only equity in life is death. That's the only outcome that we all get. And reminds me of, and a true story too, when my daughter bought her house, I was revisiting a friend in an apartment condo complex I used to live, telling her all about it. Next door neighbor comes out. He asked me, "What do you mean your daughter's buying a house? How come you can't buy a house? Why is it that she is capable of buying one and you're twice her age and you haven't done it for herself or yourself?" And I looked at him square in the eye without hesitation, and I go, well, maybe she had the better parent. So not everybody is going to buy their first house in their mid-20s. Not everybody is even going to own a home. Not everyone is going to have a residence of their own. But you make do. You kind of MacGyver that. You have to MacGyver your life. I don't know if you're old enough to remember MacGyver. I guess it was a reboot, like a redo of the show made into modern times. But you have to take that, you have to figure out a way to turn apples into lemonade. That's the way it is. And I wish everyone the best. Just giving you an update on what's going on with me. Feeling good, feeling healthy for the first time in 18 months. Things are going to get better. I have another live coming up very shortly after this one. I'm going to save it, post it. And if you have any questions for me about what I've discussed or in any of my either podcast episodes or YouTube videos, contact me at just.my.opinion.podcast2020@gmail.com. You can also contact me there to get my Cash App info to be a supporter of the program, the YouTube, and the podcast. Not everybody sees it. Not everyone's outcome, as it were. I hate that word because it's just been militarized. Not everybody gets all the cookies at the end. Sometimes you're just kind of stuck with getting your peace and your property and your fake money. And then no matter how many times you pass go, you end up being knocked out of the game. God, story of my life. And who knows, when I go check my lottery tickets later on today, I can be like, okay, boom, paid for everything. Boom, paid for that. Lottery is a great equalizer too. That's a good way to describe outcomes because not every lottery ticket gets you the jackpot. But you have the opportunity and the option to buy a ticket. Not everybody buys a ticket. That's the great thing about freedom of choice. And yeah, life is good. God is good. Afterlife will be better because we're just visitors here. Just got to try to make the most of it. Don't throw sand in each other's eyes because we're all in the same litter box. And remember, kindness is everything. Love is everything. And God is everything.